All right, good morning, everyone. Good morning. Beautiful day the Lord's given us. Let's try to put it to good use. And let's begin, as always, with a word of prayer. Barry Stevenson, would you lead us, please?
Yeah, let's pray. Dear Lord, we just come before you. Thank you for this beautiful day you've given us. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. Lord, I lift this commission up to you. I pray that you bless their deliberations, their decisions, and give them guidance and wisdom in the decisions they make. Thank you for all that you've done for us. Praise your name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you very much. How's the conscience here? We can get started. We have several people that want to do a presentation today. I would like to begin with District 5, if that's all right, Steve.
Yes, sir.
Had that request.
All right. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Information technology. We have one item, the Unisys mainframe software license. Shri, do you want to add anything to that?
Yes, sir. It's basically for our maintenance support for our Unisys mainframe platform for 1 full year.
Move the item.
All right. I have a motion.
Second.
Second. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Thank you. And next, Shri has an update on our website, our new website.
Yes, sir. Good morning, commissioners.
Good morning.
I'm going to have a few minutes of presentation of our Jefferson County website. IT department, along with county manager's office, our PIO office, they have worked. We have worked on this website. If you see this is what we have done is a facelift of our existing website, which is not mobile friendly. It's not responsive design. We have taken those into consideration, and we want to make sure that all the frequently used links on the website is clearly shown on this. And one additional feature what we have added is a drone 4K video, and this is work in progress. We have contracted with a photographer to go and do drone photography video shoots throughout the entire county, and to make sure that we cover all 5 districts. So this is work in progress. We're going to add more video as it's available, and we can change it every quarter, every month. It's up to us basically to showcase all of Jefferson County places, good places. And if you scroll down, Chris, so you see this 10 icons. We have used Google Analytics and looked at for the last 1 year what are the frequently used sites that people, when they come into the Jefferson County website, and we made as the short links so that they can directly click on that and it will be easy for them to access. And the same way, if you have a mobile phone like an iPhone or Android device, if you open jccal.org, everything is very easy to navigate, scroll based, and you can click on the link, it will directly take to the page. So for example, click on Meet Your Commission, please. This is the page, and we have taken all your new pictures in there, and we have updated again. This is we just soft launched this website, so it's still work in progress. I really encourage every one of you, all the departments, to take some time, look at this website. If you have any content to be updated, please let us know, or the PIO office. We'll make sure that we have all the content. One of the main reasons we want to do this is we don't want to have static content on there. We want to make sure that we have dynamic content and all the updated information and easily accessible by everyone. And if you can go to the homepage, please. Scroll down. And we have these links can be updated and changed as in one, and our PIO office is going to make those updates on a regular basis so that it can be easily accessible. We have YouTube videos for the Jefferson County, anything that happens, so we would like to showcase all the major events. And then on the left-hand side, you have a county calendar, county news, and we have added a Twitter feed. So anything that happens, immediately we can update the Twitter. And if you scroll to the top, Chris, please, all the way to the top, further. Yeah, you see here, this is the social media links for our Facebook, Instagram, Flickr, LinkedIn, and also for employees to access internet website also. So we have taken the facelift of the front page of the Jefferson County website and make it more easily accessible. And a lot of things will be coming as we change. move forward. And if you scroll down, further down, please, you see this. We have used Google Translate, so it has almost 60 to 70 different languages, which is basically ADA compliant. You click on that, and it completely translates the entire web page for the entire website. So we have taken the new platform with the responsive design and designed this along with our ITS team and PIO office, worked with Team Ingenuity, and I think this is a good start for the county for the website.
On these drone pictures, will it be a little bit longer segments, because these are like real quick?
Yes, sir. There is no limitation.
It's faster than WBRC newscast.
I cannot comment on that, but we have done our due diligence and made sure this is a 4K video, and we are not hosting this. So it is basically on a streaming server, so that there won't be any lag. It's not going to hog our bandwidth, and it can be constantly updated. And right now we have a less than a minute video clip, but there's no limitation on that. The more information you want to showcase, we can make it on a quarterly basis or a monthly basis. We can update that.
Who's the fisherman?
Who's the paddler?
Turn around.
You know.
When did you get into acting?
Never have been.
Any other questions for Sri?
Very good.
All right, good job.
Thank you, Sri.
Thank you. I want to thank Chris Lookout and Helen Hayes. They have done a phenomenal job on this. But it's a collective
Chris
effort.
Lookout, he is the man. If you guys don't know that, Chris is the man. He's fabulous.
And Commissioner, one thing we're going to do, we're going to push our department is to keep their information updated. We've done a slow job, a bad job of keeping constant information. So we're going to work really hard to make that happen.
All right, thank you, Sri.
Thank you, sir.
All right, next items 1 and 2 are community grants. One's for the number 1's for the 280 Cooperative District to build the pedestrian bridge. Number 2 is for the Rocky Ridge Fire District, where they're able to buy some lift assist balloons that help lift cars off people. And if I could go ahead and move on 1 and 2.
Second.
All right, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Thank you. Number 3 is an amendment to the U.S. steel tax abatement. It's basically an extension. They are moving and doing more of a capital investment, almost doubling the capital investment to add more equipment for the arc furnace. We have the 2 members here to support this abatement. It's just an extension of what's already there. We know it's all coming a little bit later on than what was extended, what was in place. So we need to just extend it a little bit to where you can get through the construction period.
Move it.
Move it. Second. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Next is a presentation from our office. I've talked to each of you about how we want to engage municipalities, engage our mayors and city leaders. And what my office is planning on doing is going out and making visits to each of them, including you guys. And so Faith is going to take us through a little brief presentation. If you have any questions, you can wait to the end. We can discuss them then. Faith?
Hey, good morning. My name is Faith. You're welcome to call me Hope, Love, Grace, any religious name I'll pretty much answer to. But I am one of Commissioner Ammon's assistants, and when I was hired, the big overarching goal was to have municipality support in his staff as it relates to economic development. So what does that mean? That's kind of what I'm here to let you all know. If you can get it to respond. Okay, great. So the purpose is to better understand municipalities by developing relationships with the leaders. So some of these guys we do have relationships with, whether we worked with them in the past or whether we just have met them at Mayor's Association meetings, whatever that looks like. But throughout these meetings we expect that the depth of these relationships will continue to grow. And then discussing opportunities just as it relates to economic development. Again, that's his responsibility for the county, so that's just the intent there. Focus, we've kind of identified 4 areas that, if it's an outline, if you will, for what we expect the conversation of these meetings to kind of gather around. So to listen first, we think that it's important to listen to these leaders. They know their areas best. So first, to understand the people in the place before we kind of start to talk about what could possibly go there. And then current businesses, discuss what's working, and then potentially what's not working, if that's applicable. And then brownfields, we've talked about this in here before, but something that we've been focusing on is brownfields, identifying where they are. So ideally, they could be redeveloped into something like the Railroad Park area that's iconic and magnetic and has spurred a lot of economic impact around the area. And then land availability, just simply identifying what properties are available. And so the process for that, reaching out and scheduling meetings. So our office, municipality leaders, and the commissioner respective to that district. We think all of those people need to have a seat at the table to discuss this. It's really important that we're all discussing and building these relationships together, discussing these opportunities that could happen as it relates to economic development. And then finally, like I said, working together to deliver and create positive and sustainable outcomes. We all want to create positive developments that spur on jobs for the county, to create Jefferson County as a greater place, and I think that's reflective of the intent of everyone that's hardworking in this room. So we'd really appreciate if we could have all the commissioners' support and coming alongside us, because we know that you guys have worked really hard to build relationships with your district, and that you know those places better than we do. So we think that we need your help, and we would also love your support. That's it. Very brief.
Good deal.
Thank you guys.
And as we go through, and we'll start this week with scheduling some meetings with each of you, we want to make sure that who knows the communities better than the mayors or the city leaders, as well as the commissioners, because you're in those districts on a regular basis. So we want to make sure that we're building relationships and building opportunities down the road. So any questions, feel free to holler at us, and we'll look forward to getting these things underway.
I do appreciate you including the commissioner in the respective areas. That's important.
And I have two other things that are not on the agenda. It's just informational. Wednesday, May 15th is National Police Memorial Day. I have the pleasure of serving as the president of Vestavia Hills Police Foundation, and we are in the process of finishing off a police memorial. It's unfortunate that it comes at a time when one of our officers has been killed, not in the line of duty, but they put themselves out there, and we want to make sure that we recognize their service for those that have served, those that have currently served, and those that have paid the ultimate price. 9 a.m. on May 15th, we will be dedicating that memorial, and anybody who would like to attend, we would love to have you there. Commissioner Stevens is going to come and be a part of that event, and we would appreciate anybody else that would like to come.
Where's it going to be?
At Vestavia Hills City Hall, on the backside of the police department. And there'll be a press release going out later today. And last thing, we're participating in an automotive and aerospace conference that's being held at the BJCC this weekend, or the next couple days. And this is a first for Birmingham and Jefferson County. This is the first of three-year series that will be coming through. So we look forward to this compounding on our relationships not only with the city of Birmingham, but the Airport Authority and BVA, how we all work together towards getting more aerospace and automotive technologies in Jefferson County, increasing the number of jobs. So we'll be participating in that over the next couple of days. And Mr. Chairman, that is my report.
Up there, and they will actually have a car there that can fly. It's amazing. Yes, it's one of the testers. I actually looked into.
You take a ride?
You know, I wish I could. I can fly on those railroad tracks at the train, keep blocking the road. But it's amazing. We actually seen it on a video as they talked to us about it. And it's amazing, they actually have, I think it was 16 cars that was built. And I'm quite sure some rich person has one, but it's amazing.
I did talk to one of the leading stampers several months ago, and they said there will be flying cars.
It's amazing. It's amazing. The two right.
I'll go, we'll go, yeah.
No.
Well, Jimmy's the pilot here, we can just fly with Jimmy.
No. You got Sharif.
Now, wings and wheels.
Wings and wheels.
That would be a great. Wings and wheels there.
You got that, wings and wheels?
Wings and wheels.
Not Jerry.
Aerospace.
Yeah.
And automobile.
Not barbecue wings.
Wings.
Hot wings and wheels.
Well, there you go. I forgot where we were. I'm sorry. Wings and wheels. That's, they use that. That's kind of like, if you have an air show, you want to appeal to everyone, and you have classic cars, which are the wheels, and then you have wings, which you have displays for aircraft and displays with both technologies. You can stand on it. It's just a catchy phrase that I've been on about 30 years, and it's something I think would be beneficial. Tony, that's part of it.
Yeah, we had some great shows in Vesper.
Yeah, we really did. It was wonderful. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Commissioner Tyson, would you want to go?
Yes, I can.
Well, if you would like to go, we can go there. We have 5 to 2.
Hey, good morning.
Morning.
We have Community Development and Human Resource Services Committee. Is Ms. Berkeley here? You can come up and give your report, please. Cooper Green versus F Service.
Good morning, Commissioners. We have 3 agenda items. The first one is a renewal of our UAV task contract to cover drug court and mental health services. Number 2 is our bigger UAV contract. It covers both, or primarily our services offered to our patients, our inpatient services, so inpatient stays, hospital-based services, anything that would be covered outside of the building with the rooms. So that's our bigger contract. And number 3 is the media contract for our upcoming health fair next week.
On number 1, the Board of Trustees and the task, when is, it says fiscal year 19, is this, why are we so late getting this to the agenda?
So this is, just to weigh in on this contract.
It's an annual contract
Right.
that we do every year.
Right.
We seem to have issues getting it to y'all in a timely manner every year. It's about the same thing that happened last year. They actually provided us the contract back in October. It went to Cooper Green. It sat over there a little bit, then it went into the process around January, I believe. By the time it went through the internal process here, Personnel Board had some questions that I don't think got answered timely. So it was like getting on their agenda, and then they had to approve it, and then it had to come here.
Okay, so that's an extension till September 30th on this other project.
Correct.
I move the items.
I'll second it. Now, to bring to everyone's attention that the UAV preferred provider contract is that $16 million that we talked about at the beginning. How are we coming with the expenditure? Are they on track, or are they going to require more funds?
So this fiscal year right now, we're under.
We're under.
As of now. As of now.
But it will change tomorrow.
Right. Yeah. So it's all dependent on care, and obviously we can't predict how sick someone is or what they may need.
That is what we need. Thank you.
Smith first and second, all in favor, say aye.
There he is.
We have one item on the agenda, Commissioners. It's a service contract for the CT scanner. This is the old scanner that you all graciously allowed our office to have access to after you got a newer scanner for the hospital.
Well, that was a second, but that was one of the things that I was gonna ask. This is a 41,200 maintenance contract?
Yes, sir.
And if you had a new scanner, what would be your maintenance cost then?
I think the maintenance contracts are fairly standard. I think that's about the going rate.
Okay, so this isn't just because it's aging?
Correct.
Okay.
The bulbs, whether new or old, the bulbs are expensive. That's one thing you're trying to, if you flip on the switch and blow one of these, that's not so expensive. If you blow a bulb on a CT scanner, that's tens of thousands of dollars.
Item 1 has been first and second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Department of Community Service and Workforce Development, Dr. Hammond.
Good morning, Commissioners. The first two items are for Mike Donald Chapel. As we discussed in the department head meeting, we've had beavers to stop up the creek, and so it's going to have to be redesigned to provide proper elevations. And also the health department has requested a change in the field lines and a design in the field lines. So the amount that's being requested for this change for the contract is $63,846. And Centel Engineering will need additional time to inspect all of this work to complete the project. They are pouring the roof this week. And so once the roof is poured, this project should move along fairly quickly to the end of construction. Number 3 is with the Alabama Department of Labor Amendment number 2. Again, we are increasing the on-the-jobs training agreement with ADOL from $700,000 to $1.5 million. We're currently working with about 43 employers, and that program is just really taking off, and we're needing additional funds to support that program. As you know, that program provides 50 to 75% reimbursement to employees for their training of new employees. And then the last item is with turnkey heating and air conditioning. Basically, as a part of our housing rehab program, we have 3 separate contracts, HVAC being one, septic tank is another one. And basically, any application that comes in where the applicant is requesting work be done to their HVAC system and they meet the eligibility requirements, we just refer them to this particular contract. And so we'll be adding another $125,000 to that using our CDBG funds.
Motion on the floor to move the item.
Second, I have a question. Number 3, how many people are we training now?
So under those OJT contracts, it could be 1 or it could be multiple employees. I don't have the exact number of how many employees are impacted, but I can get that to you shortly.
But for $800,000 extra, I'm just wondering what the numbers are.
Okay, yeah, I can get those numbers too.
Well, you know, I can say we had a meeting that was last week. And we had new employers actually to come to the meeting to take advantage of this program. And we had a packed house. And all of them was interested in participating in this program. And I can say with workforce development, if you're on social media, it's more visible now. We're in the communities more now. And the career center is very busy. If you go over there, you have to park on the street now. We are very active. This is purposely done. We're in the areas where we don't see people actually advertising and trying to get people employed. So we are a force to be reckoned with now. We are taking this serious, and we will find people in Jefferson County a job and transportation.
And let me just add to this, OJT, whenever an employer hires a participant, whatever that starting wage is, that's what they have to pay. They have to pay whatever beginning wage. It could be $15 an hour, it could be $20 an hour. But I'll get you the numbers.
How long, like if you took part in this program and I started working for Mr. Jackson, you know, and then, you know, we're getting supplemented, he's getting supplemented through this program. How long does that last? Does it end, or is it a finite period of time?
No,
or is
6
it-
months is the maximum.
Okay.
6
That
months.
was close. Okay.
And the salary has to be over,
Yeah, we have a medium income. It needs to be between $10 and $15 an hour to participate.
so we're getting up there where we can try to at least pay them a living wage, and they will not be still stuck at the farm. With their, you know, you can work and still be poor. So we're trying to actually raise that barrier to where when they do find a job, they can actually keep the job, and then it will take them out of the poverty category, so they won't have to be on food stamps and all of that, so they can actually advance in society and become working citizens. And thank you so much, Dr. Hamilton, for letting me participate in the job.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
One other question on number 4. When we say for low-income homeowners, what's our definition in this?
Low, as defined by HUD, is 80% of medium household income, and it goes down to 30. So 80 would make you qualify at 80%, but 30% would be extreme poverty, and I can also get you an income sheet that will show you the exact salary. It's based on households, on the number of people in each household.
And how is this this is a bid contract?
Yes, sir.
How is it advertised as far as to putting it out to
Well,
the
basically,
public
well,
as
here-
to you can qualify for this?
Well, here's the thing, we get more applications than we have funds. And so what happens is we take applications each year. We can't fund all of those applications, so the next year, those that don't get awarded, we give them bonus points and go back to them first.
But how would someone know?
It's on our website.
Okay.
It's on the website, and also we go into low income areas and senior citizens and are really vulnerable to the heat. So we are really looking at their homes and at the poverty level that they reach. Like we use the same chart that they use for food stamps. So that's what we're really looking at when we go into them. And so majority of the people are senior citizens, isn't it, Dr. Hamilton?
Well, I would say a lot of them are. but I
are
mean,
senior citizens.
But the
So-
big qualification is low and moderate
Yes.
income.
So
And I
we're
think,
out-
Commissioner, we just helped somebody. I think there was a call from your office that just assisted with this program.
Yes, we in all areas.
Yeah.
Are there any stipulations for folks that may be suffering from MS or something else that the symptoms, heat exacerbates the symptoms?
Yeah, so again, as I said, we get more applications than we have funds. We have a rating criteria, and things like that go into that rating criteria, and so they get more points, and then typically it leads to them getting their application approved.
And also
Well, that-
JCCO
Yes, sir.
calls. We have a connection with JCCO. They see a lot of people that with medical problems, with lupus. There's another illness that you can't be in the heat. MS is one. So they are referred to my office, and I refer them to Dr. Hamilton. And we are at Cooper Green, so we get the opportunity to talk to the patients over there. And so we put them on some of the categories. One lady we just actually got in, she's on Section 8, so we got her actually arranged to where she actually somewhere where she actually has an air conditioning and everything. So we are on the ground.
Now, I got another question.
Do we have to run the
I'm
whole
gonna go to the
process
other
on that yet?
right. And we all help the people.
All the way?
But are we utilizing our DGE policy to engage people to do this?
We're required.
Because what I'm saying is we have commercial, we have big air conditioning people. And then we have those that are medium and very small, that could very easily do work like this. And you could increase their income and their quality of life at the same time you're helping these people. So I think it is very, very, very important that we are mindful of that policy as we go forward. This would be a great place where some of our DBEs cannot participate in a giant road project, but they can do this and do it very well. So encourage you, Doctor.
Yeah, well, I will say this, it's a requirement of HUD. We have to do a Section 3 every quarter where we basically talk about minorities and females that have participated in our HUD projects. And we also participated in the program with purchasing, I think yesterday or whenever it was.
Right.
Yesterday. And so again, we're trying to promote all opportunities to DBEs.
And most big businesses they don't look at this type, this is a small amount of money, they don't want to touch this. So most of them are small business owners that look at this type of work right here, that's dealing with the county and the cities. They're CDBG money, they're qualified.
Would an owner of some apartments qualify for something like this, or does this have to be individuals?
Now, as it relates to apartments, that would just be through our ESG program. What we're talking about right here is CDBG.
Okay, it's been first and second, so all in favor say aye.
Aye. You got community grant?
I'm sorry, they stuck to the other page, y'all.
I move 1 through 5.
Don't even.
Second.
It's been first and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, thank you.
On that number 5, do we have a date on that yet? The Veterans Concert?
It's going to be the Veteran Day week.
Okay.
In November. And it's at the Dannon Project building on 5th Avenue North, across from the post office. It's there every year.
Okay.
And y'all are welcome to come.
I'd like to help sponsor that. I'll match yours, 500.
Okay. I have to put a motion on the floor to get that money.
I'll second.
Okay, it's been first and second to accept. Ooh, thank you so much. They're gonna be excited. They're gonna really play music now. It's been first and all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.
There you go. All right, I'd like to go ahead and do District 1. Environmental Services, Public Works, Food Service, and Governmental Relations Committee. Let's begin with the Environmental Services. Dave?
Yeah, so item number 1 is a construction contract. It covers our as-needed, unplanned work that comes up during the year, some of our emergency work for $1.9 million. Items number 2 and 3 are both LDOT permits for some private development, not our work. Let me go back to number 4. And item number 5 is just replacing some air conditioning units at the Village Creek plant for $27,000. So item number 4 is a annual report we have to do to AM. It's about it requires us to report this to the commission. It requires you to take action. It's about a 300-page report, but I'm going to get it down to about a minute for you. So the bottom line is this: we get really good performance out of our treatment plants. We have a really good compliance record because we have some really dedicated, hardworking operators, and hopefully a lot more coming out soon. Our biggest issue is overflows, and so we made a lot of progress in overall overflows. This is from 2011 to 2018. This AM program is where we started our asset management program. You'll see by far this dark blue is the Valley Creek system, and so Valley Creek is our worst performing system. A lot of this up and down depends on rainfall, so this is everything total. But either way, we've seen about a 50% reduction since we started our program. We started this before bankruptcy because we knew when we had money, we wanted to be able to spend it where we're supposed to. The other part that you'll see on the next slide, we've really focused on preventable overflows. And so we've been able to reduce that by over 60% in the last several years, over a quarter in the last year. And that's because we put some new programs in place that are really focusing on that. Again, Valley Creek is one of our older systems, and it's probably our worst performing. Let me go to the next slide, which is just volumes. The more rain we get, the more overflows we get. Again, dark blue is Valley, and you'll see how it just doesn't perform. I will also mention this orange color is the 5 Mile Creek Basin. It's probably our second worst performing system. But you'll see last year we had about an 8 million gallon volume. That represents a huge reduction from the prior year, and even so, it's probably a 2/3 reduction from when we started in 2012. Just for reference, when we started the consent decree in the first couple of years, we were 8 million last year. We were in the billions of gallons of total overflow volume. We had the bypasses and everything else. So you can see a huge reduction, but we want to get it down below 8 million certainly. So like I said, Valley Creek Basin is our worst performing system. These are all the projects we've identified coming out. And again, this is over probably going to be a 10 or 20 year effort. We've done a lot of work already. We've got, for instance, Mr. Stevens will know about Wickstead Road. We've done Lincoln Avenue, 57th Place that we just got done, 4th Avenue and Bessemer that have been done. So we've gotten rid of a lot of wet weather overflows, but we've got a lot of work left to do still. So this probably represents about 20 plus projects that we're going to have to do over the next, we're trying to get the biggest bang for our buck, get the ones out on the front end that will get the most overflows out. But we got to be sensitive about these high dollar projects that are out further and make sure we time that right. But, so anyway, that's it.
David, what's involved in, all right, say you got a pretty consistent overflow at one point. What do you do to remedy that?
So what we've done is we developed hydraulic models for the entire system, and that's one way we can, number one, show where problems are. When it shows a problem, we, number one, make sure we've got field evidence to back it up. We're not going to go out and spend millions of dollars on something we don't have field evidence. So if we do, we'll categorize it. We've got a priority system, so where if we look at dollars per gallon that we're eliminating, and if it's 25 cents a gallon, that project's going to move up front. If it's $10 a gallon to eliminate an overflow, that's going to fall further back. So we put these in planning, and then we prioritize them, and then put them in the schedule for the whole, in our capital program. But whether that's a year out or 5 years or 10 years out, it just kind of depends on the priority.
And our consent decree requires a 0 SSO?
The plain language says it eliminates all overflows and bypasses, but we've been able to get to the point we terminated. We haven't had 0 overflows on everything. We've been able to demonstrate that we've got a program in place that's going to take those down to where they need to be. So 0 is not it's not a practical reality. It's a good goal, but it's not something we can need.
David, I want to personally thank you for your engagement and what you've done with these SSOs, especially out in that Wickstead area that's been going on for 30 years, 20 years. And these are people that it took a while to get engaged. We didn't have any funds available. And these are people that when you had a sanitary sewer overflow, it would back out and go through their yards, go down the street through their yards. It was a terrible situation that Dave and I went round and round on for several times. But it has been worked through, and it's the people are appreciative, and we want to make sure that we continue that through all areas of the county. It's just with our bankruptcy plan of adjustment and our rate structure in place, we're now able to do this without any additional funds being allocated or appropriated. All this falls within our revenue stream. I want everyone to remember that sewer rates represent operation and maintenance, capital improvements, and debt service. And all those are being covered and covered well now, am I correct? Good, thank you. Appreciate that. That concludes district number 1. We'll just go over the back. I'll move on. Oh, one second. All in favor? Aye. The Administrator Instruction Committee, roads and transit. Do you have anybody from roads and transit this side of the middle? So we'll begin with the Bentley Software Maintenance Support Contract. It's support for the Bentley Design Software.
Move it.
Second.
I just go through them, I think it'll be okay. The C&I widening of Morgan Road, I-459, South Shades Crest. This is between Zollis and Stringtree to provide construction engineering and inspection services and mentoring according to ALDOT guidelines.
I wish I had someone here, but I don't know.
What's the question? Stefan Gray with the Road Transportation.
Yeah.
We have a question.
When are you going to be engaged?
Well, the project is on the next schedule for ALDOT June 26th, and construction usually starts within 60 days.
All right, June 26th, construction starts about September.
Yes.
Okay.
And there will be some utility relocations that will take place prior to that.
He didn't say what year.
Thank you, John. Okay, right.
Carol really lost on that thing.
He really lost on it every year. I need to start charging interest on that. Also, we have payment for track 2 of the Walker Chapel bridge replacement and realignment. And then also number 4, payment for track 1A of the Walker County bridge replacement realignment. Number 5, we have a resolution disposal of surplus heavy equipment through the JM Wood Auction Company. Alabama power easement on McDonald's Chapel storm shelter. And Alabama power easement on Bradford Park advance of an easement for distribution facilities of Alabama power. And then number 8 is permission to condemn certain tracks on the Galleria Boulevard. So that's a pretty comprehensive. Do we have any questions?
No one's ready.
Second.
Motion been made, second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Thank you very much. Next we have the minutes from the meeting of April 18th from our county attorney's office. Have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Thank you very much. I have 5 community grants, one to the Mount Olive Fire District, one to the Birmingham Fire District, one to the Birmingham Humane Society, one for the Mount Olive Community Center, and one for the City of Hoover for their all-inclusive playground project.
Move 1 through 5.
1 through 5. All in favor say aye. Aye. Thank you very much. Commissioner Hammonds has participated in the City of Hoover, and I want to certainly appreciate that.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Commissioner Knight. Save the best for last.
Yeah, finance. Here we go. Unusual demand report. Mr. Henry.
Commissioners, good morning. Number 1 is our unusual demand report. Number 2, 3, and 4 are our purchasing and encumbrance reports. Number 5 is our credit card statement. And then number 6, 7, and 8, we are pleased to announce that we've signed additional schools to the Purchasing Association of Central Alabama, Winfield City Schools, Gaston City Board of Education, and Haleyville City of Schools. As I mentioned, as more members join the Purchasing Association, that just brings prices down for everyone. If there's any questions, please let me know.
Do I have a motion?
I'll second.
1 through 8. Have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye. And then number 1 is our on budget. The management office is our normal traffic and staff development.
Second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All right, and I'll see y'all plan on another issue after the meeting. Board of Registrars, Mr. Barry.
Yes, good morning. We've got a few changes. First one, Pleasant Grove First Baptist is at capacity. Met with the city leaders out there and we found an alternate. So we're going to split that precinct so we can have efficient voting there. It's at capacity. Number 2 and 3, we've moved some center point precincts around. There were renovations done at a previous precinct. The senior center renovations are now complete. So we're realigning back like Center Point was before all construction began. So we'll be at the community center and the senior center for Center Point citizens.
All right.
Everybody votes for free.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Thank you. All right, developmental services. To Williams, Z 2019-004.
Well, actually, we've got two cases that did not make it to the final agenda that have been advertised and noticed through a problem with Minitrack. We found that when certain decisions are selected from the Planning Commission, there's no scripting behind those decisions and they don't get moved forward. So we assumed they would be on this agenda, but because of Minitrack, they didn't make it here. And Justin, do you have anything to say about
They're in
that?
your slides, they're last.
Okay. So 3 and 9 are last. Okay. All right, number 4. Okay, this is a request to rezone property from A1 to C1 up on Highway 79. We've got someone who purchased this property and wants to put his car business here, sell cars, work on cars. We have, don't touch the screen, Evan. We have a similar operation, but with some junk cars to the north. We've got commercial zoning surrounding it, and there's some limited commercial activity in the area. This originally did not conform to the land use plan for the area. However, the Planning Commission reconsidered that plan and have changed the plan, and this would now be part of the commercial node on Highway 79. So there was some question from someone who owns property to the rear. So the Planning Commission wanted to make sure that the surrounding properties are protected. So they did recommend approval with 35-foot natural buffer on the south main property lines, and exterior lighting would be directed downward and turned off by 10 p.m.
So that site's north of Bradford Road?
Yes. This is. Want to check that?
Yeah, you close to Blount County line.
Yeah, this is very close to the top of the county.
Right.
There's not much happening in here.
Right. Yeah. Right.
Bradford Road is to the south.
Yeah.
Pardon me?
Bradford Road is to the
It's
south.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Z 2019-004. Do I have a motion?
Move it.
Yeah.
A motion, a second. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. 2019-008. Is that where we're going next?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay, this is, sure, okay. Should be that one correct. This is on Mount Olive Road. We have an existing gas station that is located here. It has been vacant for some time. Someone has purchased that and the adjacent property with the idea of reopening it and expanding it some with some food service. What they are doing is they have had a subdivision case that takes in part of the A1 parcel next door and adds to their property so they can add parking and have a drive-through window going behind this so they can serve sandwiches, lunch sort of thing. There was no opposition at the Planning Commission hearing on this. There were some concerns about the actual design of it, how it works, and that they've worked through that. And they have recommended approval with covenants requiring channelization of access. Originally, it was just wide open access to the property. So that would be channelized. The exterior lighting would be shielded downward. A privacy fence would be erected in the south against the residential property down here, and all drive-through operations would cease at 9 p.m. to protect the neighborhood.
So there's no opposition from the
We had no opposition on this.
from the neighborhood. Okay. Z 2019-008. Do I have a motion?
Sorry.
I Have a motion second. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Thanks. 2019-010.
This case is on Alliance Road in Bessemer. We have a situation where at some point in the not too distant past, this industrial property encroached upon this agricultural property. They just built their building and were actually on the wrong property. So this is they've got a subdivision case and they've got a rezoning case, just to rezone a portion of this property for industrial and to subdivide it so that they are on the right property. It happens. There was no opposition and the Planning Commission recommended approval.
Do I have a motion?
I'll move it.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
2019-011.
Okay, this is another property, not dissimilar to the last case, in that we have a piece of C3 commercial, which is alcohol consumption zoning, and in the corner of this large A1 property. The owner of the A1 property has sold the bar that was pre-existing in the corner, and they sold a portion that didn't exactly correlate with the old zoning lines. So what this case does in conjunction with the subdivision case is recreate the subdivision. So this is a logical parcel with this up here, and the zoning would convert the zoning to C1 in just that commercial parcel and A1 in just the parcel. It's just really straightening up the lines. No opposition, and Planning Commission recommended approval.
Z 2019-011. Do I have a motion?
Second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All right, we're going to do the zoning next or go to the beverage cases? Go ahead.
The first beverage case is for, well, this is actually your zoning. It's your zoning map. Yeah, those maps are great. First case is out of Grayson Valley. It's at Chalkle Road. This is a request for a transfer of beer wine to a new manager, to a new owner for the business. We approved directly across the street at Wright Street in Grayson Valley just a couple months ago. Again, this is just a simple transfer request. There was a item on the applicant did have an arrest for sale of alcohol to minors, but he was not convicted of that in Birmingham City Court.
Trouble.
Well, again, it's odd that he was arrested for that charge, but no one showed up in city court to ever fight the charge, and he wasn't cited by the ABC board for it. Apparently, what he's described is that there was some sort of roundup of business owners along Finley Boulevard at the time, and I don't believe that anybody was convicted in any crime at the time in Birmingham City Court.
Okay, but ABC board's giving him clearance?
Yes, sir. In fact, he's had licenses approved since then.
Okay. Do I have a motion?
Move it.
Second.
All in favor, please say aye. Okay. 010.
All right, yeah, the next case is out on Short Creek, Alliance Road and Short Creek Road up on 269, Vermonport Road. This is a request to transfer license again at an establishment that's had previous sales. Again, in this instance too, there is a arrest for the applicant, but it appears to be a setup from an ex-girlfriend or ex-wife.
No.
It's all in your report. I don't make the news, I just report.
Oh, shut up.
This is what I get at my job every day.
On the 20th of March 19, on the back of this, and I just looked through and saw it. We are on 010.
Yeah, I believe my maps
Yes.
are placed correctly. But this one is, the location's out there at Short Creek at
Good
Purple.
with that.
But yeah, all of the information that I received from the applicants is included in the back of your reports. And anytime that there is an arrest, we ask them to make some sort of statement or explain what happened. And that's what I got on that.
Okay, what we've got is from the ABC Board's current license will not be renewed, that from the previous owner.
Oh, yes, correct. That will, anytime there's a transfer, yeah, anytime there's a transfer, that's going to be the language that's in the ABC report.
Have a motion. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. All right. Thank you, sir. Now, general services?
We got 2 more.
Oh, that's right. We got the 2 new ones. You did say that, didn't you? All right, go.
Okay, this is case 2019-03. This is on Acton Road. This is not far from Patchwork Farms, from apartments. We got a subdivision down here. What we had is a property that was zoned a number of years ago for a veterinary clinic, and there were a lot of restrictions put on at that time because there was not a lot of development around here at the time, and they wanted to protect the character of the area. Since that time, there's been a lot of development. There's been, this subdivision's been built. These 2 self-storage facilities have been built. And the owners of this property want to, or the prospective owners of this property want to take down the veterinary clinic and build another self-storage facility. There was no opposition at the hearing, and the Planning Commission felt that obviously with other self-storage, it now fits with the community. The previous self-storage, they did have architectural review on that in order to have a better quality product for this area. So they have recommended approval of this with the Planning Commission having site plan and architectural plan approval of it, and all exterior lighting to be shielded and directed down.
Like to me, that's already under construction.
No, it's a vacant vet building.
Yeah, it's the vet building is still vacant.
The vet, this used to be the 24-hour vet clinic that was open. That's gone defunct.
Okay.
So it's that side.
Okay.
Okay.
They're going right up the road there, that's what they're building now.
Z 2019-003. Do I have a motion?
I'll move it. Second.
Have a motion second. All in favor, please say aye. Okay.
And the next one is 2019-009. This is a case with a lot of history to it. Back in 2005, we had a request to rezone this property for essentially a garden home development in conjunction with the other portion of this development, which was in the city of Bessemer. The property was rezoned at the time for a PUD because they also had a commercial component. The background of this is we have a sewer pump station down here just below the property. The agreement was made with environmental services at the time to build a road capable of being a subdivision road and actually putting in lateral sewer lines at that time when the county took that property in order to get access to build the sewer pumping station. So a lot of history in this thing. It was rezoned. It was not built in 2 years. There's an automatic sunset on PUDs in 2 years. It was not built. They came back 2 years later, rezoned the property again for PUD. Again, it was not built. We were getting into the recession, or beginning of the recession. They came back once again in order to rezone the property this time, so it wouldn't revert to RG and C1 commercial. They did withdraw the case because of what happened to the economy at the time. So this has been approved twice before. It's been a case 3 times. They're coming back and asking for exactly the same thing that they were approved for before. It would be an 87-lot subdivision in the county. And as you can see here, the red hatching is all floodplain. This is a very flat area, a very sensitive area. They would stay out of that, and over 60% of the site actually would be in protected floodplain.
So it's clustered lots over on this side. The Bessemer subdivision will also be going on as part of this. So it'll be split between Bessemer and us. The Planning Commission did recommend approval. There was some opposition from people who live up in this area, just with more traffic on that road. And there were the last 2 times that this has been approved. Bessemer has said that that road is adequate to, or will be adequate to handle the traffic coming here. So the Planning Commission did recommend approval with covenants and a contingency about a drainage study. They want to make sure in the covenants that no residential lots are platted in the floodplain at all. There are some that are currently proposed where just the very back portions of them, not affecting the house sites, would be in the floodplain. They would be required to remove that. Hedrick Road be improved as specified in a letter from Bessemer City Engineer and the Wood Family Trust. That all the sewer lines of the property be inspected because they've been out there for many years now and not used for development, and that exterior lighting would be in conjunction with commercial development to the south would be shielded and directed downward. And I should say, this is going to be kind of a mini warehouse and RV storage down in the southern part of the property, just above the sewage pumping station. So there will be this kind of low-level commercial between the pumping station and the residential. So
now you say there's some lateral lines already in?
There are, yes.
Okay.
The lateral lines were put in by the county to conform to their plan for the subdivision.
The primary concern from the residents, and this is my new, is the improvements to the road.
Yeah.
The road is really designed as an old wagon road way back when. And it was a dead-end street that didn't many people live on, and it was adequate. And I believe through the last time that they came, we were concerned about the ability of a fire truck to travel down that road. And supposedly, they have talked with the engineers of the city of Bessemer, which that road falls entirely within their jurisdiction, to make those road improvements, to widen it sufficiently for the rescue vehicles to get in and get out of that particular area, especially if you're going to build that many homes. The city of Bessemer is not aware of any commercial development or any large vehicles going to and from that area, as you have stated here. I just got off the phone with the city of Bessemer, their attorney and their engineer. They had no knowledge of that. They did not approve this for anything but homes. So at full disclosure, I'll move this to the agenda for Thursday, but it's going to have to be some very strict stipulations involved with that, and I think that there's still very many problems with this particular development.
Commissioner, what we may want to look at is revising that second covenant, as that language is very specific. And the reason we put that specific language in there was to reference the traffic study analysis that was provided by the city of Bessemer that's included in your report.
Right.
What we may want to do is revise that language just so that Hedrick Road be improved to the standard required by the city of Bessemer for the entire development. And so that way, again, we would withhold any and all permits until the road satisfies their requirements.
Well, when we're talking about the city of Bessemer requirements, that they may not be up to the standards of what we were required by the Jefferson County.
That's correct, but again, it's their road to to say that. But and again,
Right.
like I said, and I realize that this is the portion that's within the county that ties on to a city road. This is the way that we be sure that the city improves it to their standard before we permit anything.
What portion is ours on the road?
That's high, of the road, just
Yeah.
the section that
Yeah.
was high. Everything else is
From
city
here to
investment.
here. That's where it starts, right here.
No, you're going up the sewer line, Ed. Go to the left, there's the, either that or I can't see what.
Oh, that's
Okay,
it.
This is Hedrick Road right
Yeah,
here.
okay, yeah, okay.
This-
You hit it, you can see.
Are we gonna have to widen that road and do all the improvements on that road, or will they?
They would have to.
Okay, and this is a sewer line right here.
Or is that, no, that's a gas easement.
This is a gas station.
Everything that they wanted to do commercial on the opposite side of that easement.
Lots of. They used to raise horses on that property, that was a farm. And the horses get out of the water.
Yes, take a run.
I have a motion to move it to the agenda. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Thanks, guys. Now, general services.
Good morning. Item number 1 is the maintenance, inspection, and testing of the UPS system that we have throughout Jefferson County. Items 2 and 3 involve the Buffalo Rock vending contract to include the personnel board. And item number 4 is the deductive change order for the department consolidation project.
Move items 1 through 4.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Mr. Oliver, you may now buy your cookies at the personnel board. Personnel board. Any report on the LinkedIn contract renewal?
Is it item for the commission's acknowledgement?
Do I have a motion? All in favor, please say aye. Aye. I have some community grants.
Move them all.
A motion and a second on 1 through 5. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. I do have a couple of items I would like to share that I received last night at the Pennsylvania Valley High School Education Foundation dinner. And one is the plaque for the back-to-back championships 6A in Pennsylvania Valley High School football. And coming on the heels of that is the basketball championship 6A.
Wow.
State tournament. So, and as I told them last night, you have made the citizens of Pinson very proud. You've made the citizens of Jefferson County very proud. You've made the citizens of Alabama very proud, except maybe those living in Saraland or Montgomery Copper. So,
My niece was a head cheerleader over there for 2 years. She's at Alabama now.
at Pinson Valley?
Mhm.
Okay. When did she graduate? Was she
Last year.
Okay, so she was part of that championship team the first time. Great. All right, that concludes my report.
Kelly, you have enough? No, sir. Mr. Lawson?
No, sir.
Please adjourn.